You've got a leaking commercial roof, and the bids are rolling in. One contractor says patch it, another says coat it, and a third tells you it's time for a massive, full-scale tear-off. A building owner can receive quotes ranging from $5,000 to $500,000 for the same property. This discrepancy stems from what the contractor assumes is happening beneath the visible membrane. Relying strictly on the visible top layer causes these massive financial miscalculations. This diagram shows the complete roof assembly. It's built in 3 distinct layers: the protective top membrane, the middle insulation layer, and the foundational structural deck at the bottom. Water often slips through a tiny puncture in the top membrane and spreads out horizontally to soak the middle insulation layer. From the roof surface, the damage looks localized. Inside the assembly, it is systemic. Plugging a visible hole while ignoring the trapped moisture beneath it leaves the real problem untouched. It guarantees a catastrophic structural failure that will cost far more in the near future. To cut through the contractor jargon and match your building symptoms to the exact right solution, you need a simple diagnostic framework. This chart shows that framework, and it revolves around a single make-or-break question: is the insulation wet? If moisture has already compromised your insulation, those cheap surface-level solutions are instantly wiped off the table. Locating exactly where water is hiding inside your roof assembly is the only way to avoid wasting valuable capital expenditure on the wrong bid. Tier 1 is a localized repair. This intervention works specifically when you're fixing a single open seam or a small HVAC puncture. It is a cost-effective way to buy your roof some time. But if your membrane is suffering from broad shrinkage or blistering, a localized patch is useless. Tier 2 is a roof coating, rolling a protective liquid layer strictly over an aging but stable and dry membrane. A good coating restores UV protection and helps your building meet Los Angeles's strict cool roof codes. But this diagram shows a fatal financial trap. Applying an airtight liquid coating over saturated insulation seals that moisture inside. The intense Los Angeles sun boils it. Vapor bubbles push up and burst through the new coating, destroying the system from the inside out. Roof coatings save money only when they protect a completely dry assembly. Otherwise, they just lock in a structural cancer. If your surface is too damaged for a coating, but the insulation is still bone dry, you reach Tier 3, the recover. This involves installing a brand new roof membrane directly on top of your existing system. The operational appeal of a recover is massive. You eliminate the tear-off noise, heavy debris disposal, and tenant disruption. Daily operations keep moving smoothly. But there is a physical compromise. Layering a second roof adds significant weight to your structural footprint. Because of that weight, Los Angeles building codes heavily restrict exactly how many layers a single roof structure can legally hold. A recover looks like the perfect financial middle ground on a spreadsheet.
But it is a dangerous liability if it is used to hide decaying structural decking. Finally, Tier 4 is a full tear-off replacement. This requires the complete removal of the old assembly, right down to the bare structural deck. This tier requires the highest upfront capital expenditure. It involves mandatory building permits and complex logistical coordination to protect your interior inventory. What you get in return is a total reset. It allows contractors to install fresh insulation and rebuild your drainage systems from scratch. Look at this graph comparing a tear-off against repeated emergency patch jobs over 5 years. The tear-off requires a steep initial spike, then costs flatten to zero. Patches create a continuous stair-step of expenses that eventually crosses the line and costs you far more. For extensively damaged roofs, accepting the highest initial bid is often the only way to permanently halt the cycle of rising operational expenses and daily disruptions. Operating a commercial building in Los Angeles introduces specific environmental factors, starting with heavy rooftop equipment. Between HVAC technicians, routine duct repairs, and solar installations, standard roofing materials will quickly fail if the new design doesn't account for dedicated service access pathways. The second major local variable strikes after heavy LA rainstorms, deep seasonal ponding water that fails to drain. This standing water stresses the seams of your membrane and accelerates the breakdown of protective surfaces. This top-down view shows why a full tear-off is so valuable. It provides the best opportunity to physically correct poor roof slope geometry and get water actively draining away. Ignoring how your building is actually used and how it naturally drains will ruin a brand new, expensive roof just as fast as the old one. This matrix shows how the 4 tiers grade head-to-head against 3 variables: upfront cost, longevity, and disruption level. If you are a budget-conscious owner aiming to minimize immediate costs and your roof is dry, pursue a coating. Just mandate a moisture scan first. If you are a facility manager whose highest priority is keeping tenants undisturbed and building code permits it, execute a recover. But if you manage a long-term asset dealing with saturated insulation and rising repair bills, you need to absorb the high immediate cost of a tear-off replacement to permanently lower your long-term overhead. Objectively matching the structural intervention to your exact financial timeline prevents you from wasting vital capital. Never guess your commercial roof's internal condition from the ground, and do not base capital decisions solely on surface photos. It's time to get objective data. Schedule a comprehensive moisture inspection with Flat Roofing Los Angeles. Learn more about our commercial flat roof replacement service to secure the exact right solution for your specific building.
A commercial roof is a major financial asset. Hard diagnostic data changes a reactive repair expense into a calculated, protective investment.